Right, I made it difficult for him. I didn't let him be comfortable. They were comfortable in their triangle, and I made it uncomfortable for him. And Mike got mad. He got mad about it.
Oh, Payton and Jordan having some words, face to face. And Hopper guides Payton away.
38 years covering this league from press row, post-game hallways, courtside access in buildings where the best basketball in the world gets played. And occasionally, something more important than basketball happens. I was in the building for all 6 games of the 1996 NBA Finals. Every one of them. And what I watched Gary Payton do in that series is the most misunderstood story in the history of Michael Jordan's career. Not because Payton stopped him. He did not stop him. Jordan won the championship. The Bulls went 87-75 in Game 6, and the trophy went to Chicago, and Jordan held it on the floor and wept for his father. And there was nothing complicated about any of that. What was complicated was what happened in Games 4 and 5. And nobody has told that story correctly. Until right now. Stay with me, because what I watched from 8 rows behind the Seattle bench tells you something about both of these men that 30 years of highlight footage has deliberately left out. The series started exactly the way everyone predicted. Chicago won Game 1, 107-90. Won Game 2, 92-88. Won Game 3, 108-86. Jordan was averaging somewhere above 30 points through the first 3 games, and Gary Payton was not guarding him. George Karl had Payton doing other things, matching up against smaller guards and staying in the team's defensive system. Payton wanted the Jordan assignment. He had been asking for it. Karl kept telling him they had a long series, that there was no reason to put Payton on Jordan in games that were already slipping away, that the right moment would come. Down 3-0 in a best-of-7 series, the right moment had arrived, whether Karl wanted it to or not. A man named Brendan covered the Supersonics for 11 years from a press credential that got him into both locker rooms within 20 minutes of the final buzzer, was standing next to me outside the Seattle locker room after Game 3. Payton had gone into Karl's office. Brendan had been in that building long enough to read the energy coming through closed doors. He turned to me and said, "That conversation is going to change this series. I do not know which direction, but something is about to be different." He was right. Payton walked into Karl's office and told him directly, "We do not have anything else to lose. You are going to let me guard him, or I am going to switch on to him on every play anyway." Karl said, "Do what you have to do." Here is what people say about what happened next. They say Jordan was tired. They say the Bulls relaxed with a 3-0 lead. They say Seattle got a lift from their home crowd. They say the series was already decided and games 4 and 5 were footnotes. Here is what actually happened. Payton put his body on Jordan from the moment of inbounds passes and did not move. He made Jordan catch the ball 25 feet from the basket instead of 18. He made Jordan take 3 additional dribbles to get to his spot instead of 1. He got into Jordan's body on every catch, not fouling, just present, just there. A weight that had not existed in the first 3 games. He contested every shot early and forced Jordan to work for the ball before he even got to his first move. Jordan shot 23 points in Game 4, his lowest total in any finals game of his career. When you look at the tape from that game, Jordan is not off. He is working. There is a difference, and Payton knew the difference, and the tape shows the difference clearly. Jordan in games 1 through 3 was operating at the speed he chose. Jordan in Game 4 was operating at the speed Payton allowed him to reach. In Game 5, the Sonics won again, and the series was 3-2, and for the first time since 1990, the Chicago Bulls looked genuinely uncertain about what was going to happen next. After Game 4, Jordan refused to give Payton credit. He said no one can stop him. He said he only stops himself. He said he missed some easy shots. Payton understood why Jordan said that. He said it himself years later. He would not even respect Jordan if Jordan had said anything different, because Jordan is Michael Jordan. That is exactly what Michael Jordan is supposed to say. That is the only answer that exists in Jordan's vocabulary in that moment. But the tape does not lie. Jordan was not the same player in Games 4 and 5 that he had been in Games 1 through 3. He was working harder for every possession. He was not in his rhythm. He was not comfortable. Phil Jackson started designing plays to get Jordan easier looks away from Payton, handing the ball off to Pippen and Kukoc in situations where Jordan would normally have finished. Jordan got mad about that. He wanted the ball. Payton had made Michael Jordan uncomfortable enough that his own coaching staff adjusted around him. The Seattle crowd in Game 5 was the loudest I have heard any arena in 38 years of sitting in them. The Sonics won that game, and the series was 3-2, and for approximately 48 hours, the most dominant team in NBA history looked like it might not close the series. Then Game 6, Chicago. Jordan held the ball on the left wing in the fourth quarter, and the entire arena already knew what was going to happen. Payton had put 4 games of work into him, and Jordan was still Michael Jordan. And this was still Chicago Stadium in June. Bulls won 87-75. Championship number 4. What Gary Payton did in that series is not a story about stopping Michael Jordan. It is a story about something rarer than stopping him. It is a story about a player who identified exactly what made Jordan impossible to guard, and then accepted that impossible was not the same as unavoidable. You could not eliminate the damage. You could make the damage cost more to deliver. You could make Jordan burn more energy, take longer to get to his spots, work in situations he was not accustomed to working in. Payton won the Defensive Player of the Year award that season. He spent the finals proving why. And Jordan, in his own way, confirmed it. Not directly, not in any interview, but Payton told a story about their history that explains everything about the respect underneath the competition. Payton came into the league in 1990 as the number 2 draft choice. In preseason, he scored 21 points against Chicago in about 8 minutes of playing time. Jordan was not playing hard in preseason. No veteran does. Payton did not know that yet. He was 21 years old, and he thought he was killing Michael Jordan. And he told everyone around him exactly that. Then the regular season opened, and Chicago came to Seattle for the first game of the year. Jordan remembered the preseason. He had filed it away the way he filed everything away. He came out in that first regular season game and went straight at Payton from the opening possession. Steals, baskets, plays made directly in front of the rookie who had been talking. The message was delivered clearly enough that it did not require words. After the game, Jordan found Payton and told him, "Welcome to the NBA." That is not cruelty. That is a specific kind of education delivered by the most precise teacher the game has ever produced. Payton received the lesson and spent the next 6 years becoming the player who would eventually make Jordan work for every basket in the 1996 finals. The Last Dance came out in 2020, and Jordan laughed when Payton's claims about those 2 games came up. Payton said he did not care about that. He said that is exactly what Jordan is supposed to say, because it is his documentary about his legacy, and he would not respect Jordan if Jordan said anything else. That is 2 men who understood each other completely. 2 competitors who tested each other across a decade and came away with exactly the kind of respect that only forms between people who have genuinely tried to destroy each other. I watched 38 years of this game from close enough to see what the cameras miss. I never watched 2 players understand each other as well as Gary Payton and Michael Jordan understood each other in June of 1996. Jordan won the series. He won every series. That was always going to happen. But in games 4 and 5, Gary Payton made the greatest player who ever lived uncomfortable in his own skin on the biggest stage in basketball. That is not a footnote. That is a legacy.